best gym equipment for building enduro race fitness. So there's a few key bits of equipment that are probably going to help you the most. But one of the biggest problems I see is a lot of riders get confused with what equipment they should be using because they have a look at a gym or they see stuff on the internet and there's more pieces of equipment than you can poke a stick at that take up a whole heap of space, which a lot of people don't have, and also cost a fair bit of money as well. So if you wanted to, you could spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on equipment, but there's only a few pieces of equipment that are going to be most helpful for actually helping you with your riding. So I'm just down here in the garage gym. I'm just going to take you through a few key pieces of equipment and then hopefully give you a starting point for building your own garage gym. So first thing that we'll start with is the barbell. So the reason the barbell is important is because we want to be able to build strength for the bike. Okay, ultimately what we want to do is if we can get ourselves stronger, we can get the bike to feel lighter. And if you can get the bike to feel lighter, then you're going to use a lot less energy on the bike. The reason that we use a barbell is because there's a couple of reasons. Is number one, we can load it up with weights. Okay, so like if we're just using body weight, for example, for like, push-ups and squats, we can't load it up any further than our body weight. So our progress is limited. Whereas with this bad boy, we can put a whole heap of weights on each side and we've got a whole heap of bumper plates here that we can stick on there to be able to keep getting stronger and keep progressing. So that's the first reason. Second reason that we use a barbell is it doesn't provide any assistance, okay, with our balance and stability. So what I mean by that, like if you go to the gym and you use, say, like a leg press machine, okay, do leg extensions, a lot of the exercise that you're doing, okay, is actually helped and supported by the machine. Your body's not having to create balance and stability on its own because the machine's helping you to do that. So for example, that's why if you've ever done leg press, you can do a lot more on the leg press than you can with the back squat because of that reason. So the reason we want to use the bar is, as we can see, there's nothing here supporting this bar. Okay, the only thing that's going to move that bar is my body going in different positions. So that's the first thing. So that's why the barbell is great. Obviously the bumper plates are the ones that go with that. To start off with, you probably don't need any of these bigger ones here. You can just start off with these smaller ones and add them to your collection. Like pricing wise, you don't need an expensive barbell. You can get a barbell for $200-300. Weight plates are a little bit more expensive, but if you just start off with the smaller, like 5-10 kilo, maybe some 15 kilo plates depending on your strength, that's probably a good starting point. Maybe for a couple of $100, that would get you started there. So we're looking at maybe $400 or $500. Great thing about gym equipment is it doesn't really lose value. It's the same. Barbells have been the same for years. Weight plates have been the same for years. So if you buy it secondhand, you could probably sell it in 5 years' time for exactly what you got it for. So that's the first thing. Try and get the camera right. Second thing would be a squat rack. Okay, so what a squat rack is it's this stand here that the bar sits on. Okay, the reason that's important is because anytime you want to get the bar on your back for, say, like a back squat, okay, you want to make sure you're putting yourself in the safest position possible. Okay, if you're trying to muscle weights up from the floor and trying to get it on your back and then trying to get it off your back and you're trying to get strong and trying to lift heavy, you're probably just asking for trouble. So squat rack might be a couple of $100. Again, you can get these all the way up to competition grade or just, standard entry level grade. You're not doing a powerlifting competition and we're not a commercial, you're not running a commercial gym. So you can get away with getting a cheap squat rack for a couple of $100. So that'll get you down to, what are we now? That's gonna probably have you maybe around, so if we have, like, say, I don't know, 200 for a bar. Okay, if we say 200 for some, or maybe 300 for some weight plates, that'll be 500. And then 200 for this bad boy would be about $700. Next piece of equipment that I would say would be in my top three. Okay, I'm counting the plates with the barbell. Would probably be the rowing machine. So this thing here is a great tool for building cardio, okay, building fitness. The reason I like the rowing machine so much is that it is low impact. Okay, I find with a lot of riders, they have a lot of injuries or niggles that they've accumulated over the years. So when they start to go and do like a whole heap of running, it's like, I've got a sore knee, sore hip, sore back. And so if you've got pain while you're training, you're not going to train very hard because you're always just going to be trying not to feel pain. So I always try and avoid that with our riders. So that's why we use this bad boy. These things are a little bit expensive though. So this Concept 2 here, brand new, they're about 1,500 bucks. You could probably get a second-hand one for maybe $1,000. Again, they don't lose too much value. These Concept 2 rollers have been the same for years. So if you buy one second-hand, you can probably sell it later on for exactly the same amount. And they also fold in half as well in the middle here for storage. So I put mine generally over here in half. So I can get the car in here still in and out, as you can see all the marks on the floor. But overall, that would be the top things that I would start with. So overall, like if we're looking at, you know, $700 for the plates, the rack and the bar. And then if you wanted to get a rowing machine, they're about, you know, $1,000. But you can also use an assault bike. You can use an exercise bike. You don't have to have a Concept 2 rower. Concept 2 rower is kind of the top of the line rower, but you can get much cheaper ones than that. And you can definitely get cheaper secondhand ones as well. But if I had to choose between just one of these things, it would definitely be the barbell. Because that's the thing that I find helps our riders the most. It's the lifting the weights, it's the getting stronger. When they get themselves stronger, that bike feels a lot lighter. When the bike feels a lot lighter, they can muscle the bike around for longer periods of time. They don't get as tired. They can ride for longer periods of time. So that would be my number one, but the row is still important. If you'd like some help with this stuff, okay, you'd like all your training mapped out, you're not sure what you need to do or how to perform the exercises, you can apply for my Faster Laps program below. Otherwise, hopefully you enjoy this video.